What it do, YouTube? It's SS, and I'm back with another video on this one right here. This one right here. Well, in this video right here, we end up getting our Elo, and as you guys can see me, I am powering up this Needle Queen because I do believe Needle Queen is super strong in the Ultra League right now, thanks to all the buffs, all the people that got buffs, and the Pokemon that got nerfed. There's a lot of Virizion, a lot of Cobalion, a lot of Clefairy, which Needle Queen can run right through. Now, I know you probably already seen this core, Needle Queen for Alligator Core on Rise to Occasions video, but I do want to say this. I did make this core first. I'm not sure if he had seen me, and if you guys see me, I was gonna try to make a Virizion, but I originally ran this team with Poliwrath, so it was originally Needle Queen for Alligator and Poliwrath, and that video is up here on my YouTube. You can watch it. It was from last season. They got me to veteran. I think I hit veteran with it. Um, so I have been using this core way before Rise to the Occasion, just to let you guys know, because I did see that he did drop a video also with the same core, but I've been using this core for a good while now. As you guys see, there is a Golurk, a Alolan Muck, and Credilly. I do have a very good set that I did with those Pokemon. If you guys would like to watch that video, let me know in the comments. I could make a video for that, but it will be a very short one because I did not get too many wins. Um, Here I'm currently looking for a Pokemon to substitute for Virizion or slash Poliwrath. Like I said, last season I did use Poliwrath, and I was thinking about using Machamp, but it is not Shadow, and I don't have one, so I do end up going for Dragonite here any second. So yeah, if you guys are liking the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And it tells me that only 4% of you guys are subscribed to the channel. Um, so that means like 95% of you guys are not subscribed that are watching my videos. And that kind of feels super horrible for me to me. But if you guys could actually sub since you guys are watching these videos, I would really appreciate it. Um but yeah, let's see. I'm not sure what it was in the lead. I think it was a Lowland Muck, and I do end up throwing the Poison Fang, then switching out. I go into my Dragonite. Dragonite is gonna get hit with Thunder Punch, but I do end up throwing up the shield. So now we're gonna see that Lowland Muck. No, the Muck come back in, not a Lowland, but it's just a regular Muck. I'm trying to throw the move here. I do believe they ended up getting a free poison jab, or I might be wrong. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. Hoping it's a Thunder Punch to enough to KO. It is enough to KO. I'm gonna come into my Needle Queen. They come into it for Alligator. Gonna try to catch the move. I do end up catching the move, and we are currently one Shadow Claw ahead of them. Gonna try to make it to another move here. Gonna try to make it to the Hydro Cannon. Gonna be able to make it to the Hydro Cannon one Shadow Claw before them, and then I have a big decision to make here. They did over farm here, which is really bad for me. Gonna come into my Needle Queen. Gonna go ahead and throw the Poison Fang right away, and at this point, this game is pretty much over for me because I don't think I can. If I do get the farm down, this Muck is gonna be able to throw their. Well, I made a mistake here because I was already at the move, so I should have thrown the move. No, I didn't. I don't think it mattered. I don't think it mattered. No, I don't think it mattered. I think I was gonna lose that regardless. Anyways, we're gonna hop into the next battle. We're gonna see. Apparently, I did not cut that one up a little bit. But anyways, we're gonna see Skuntank up against our Needle Queen, and they end up swapping out into Cobalion, which this is actually not a bad matchup for the Cobalion. You guys would actually see here if they do end up shielding, which is kind of crazy. You would think that Needle Queen would have a very good play into it, but as you guys would see, these Stone Edges or Sacred Swords are actually gonna start adding up. And look at that, I'm already pretty much in the red. If I no shield this, I will be in the red. And you guys will see that. Now I am going to try to overfarm. They go into it for Alligator. I'm just going to go straight for the nuke here. No reason to bait because I don't think they will shield. And now I'm just going to go into my own for Alligator. And for Alligator is going to hit me with the crunch, which is fine with me. they're gonna come into their skunk tank. Skunk tank is going to have to take this hydro cannon, or they will have to shield. They do end up taking it. I'm at back to back, so I just throw right away. Two turn versus two turn, so I don't have to throw in good timing. Gonna switch out into my Dragonite. Start getting farm for the Cobalion, and in comes the Cobalion. They're gonna be able to throw a move. I'm gonna go ahead and shield just in case it's Stone Edge, but it is a Sacred Sword. Don't know if they built up to it or not. Gonna farm up until they get to the third double kick, and that say superpower is gonna be enough to KO the Cobalion, and I do make it to a Dragon Claw to KO the Skunk Tank, and we're gonna be able to take that game. As we do go on to the next match, we're gonna see Guzzlord up against our Nidoqueen, and this is actually pretty bad for the Nidoqueen, especially since Guzzlord did get a new buff. They got the Brutal Swing buff, and I'm not sure what move they went for there, but I'm gonna make sure to throw in good timing here. Go straight for the Earth Power. No reason for me to bait here, and they do not shield, which is really good for me. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up my shield, my first shield here, and I think I can farm down completely, and I do end up getting the farm down completely. They're gonna come into a Drapion, and I probably should have Poison Fanged it because they are probably going to shield, but never mind, they don't shield. What do I know? And now at this point, I have a really hard decision to make. I go into my Feraligatr knowing that I can tank a hit here a lot better than my Dragonite will, and they end up throwing a acid spray. And this is actually really bad for me now because there is a Tapu Fini on the screen, and I need to make it to a move. I do make it to a move here. This is actually CMP tie, the cap tie, the bap tie, and for me it was the bap tie because I am baiting, but they do end up no shielding, and I'm gonna no shield as well. I'm gonna do nine Shadow Claws and then throw the move here, and it looks like it was not a no, I might be thinking about a different game. Um, because there is one where I do end up doing like 9 Shadow Claws and I CMP them, but I think it probably is a different game. Either way, we're gonna be able to Shadow Claw both of those Pokemon down after one more Hydro Cannon on the top of Fini, and what a game looked like it was trouble for us actually ended up as a win. And now we are gonna see a horrible lead here. I'm gonna try to catch the move here on my Dragonite. We're gonna see what they want to do. Do they want to swap out? Do they want to stay in? They do end up swapping out into a Talonflame, and this is actually not really good for the Talonflame. I think they did 4 Incinerates there, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Dragon Claw right before they make it to we're just gonna go ahead and let this go through. Because if I shield there, they will be able to farm down, and I rather have the shields ready and energy ready for this Greninja to come back in because it will come in. And I actually should have just went for the Earth Power there, because it would have definitely KO'd since they no shielded, and now they are gonna swap out into a Drapion. At this point, I expect them to shield, so I am gonna go for the cheeky bait, and we do successfully end up getting it correctly. And I think Nidoqueen can actually live this crunch, so or this Aqua Tail for sure. Gonna try to catch the next move here, and it looks like we do end up catching the Aqua Tail, which is really good for us. And now I'm gonna overfarm here. No, not really. Just gonna throw the move right instantly as I get it, and we're gonna see what they want to do. They do end up shielding, and this is a cap tie, the bap tie, the Pap tie, cap tie, and they do lower our defense, which is kind of bad for us. But we are able to actually make it to this next Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon is going to be enough to KO since they go for the farm down. And now at this point, I'm just going to go straight for the Poison Fang. Poison Fang should be enough to KO the Greninja, and we are going to be taking that game. As we did see, that was a horrible lead, but we do end up winning. And now this time we are going to see a good lead, but you guys saw that if they do end up shielding, they do outpace us severely when they do make it to these sacred swords, and they do add up. I do believe they will make it to 3. So I do try to throw in good timing here. Once again, knowing and recognizing that the matchup is pretty bad for me. Now at this point, since they actually let it go through, I think I could just shield and farm down before they even get to the next move. We do farm down before they get to the next move, and this is actually horrible at throwing bad timing here, but I guess since they got the one turn lag, it actually ended up being good timing. And now I do swap into my Dragonite. At this point, I'm gonna have to shield this up. Icy Wind is going to be able to get my shield, and now at this point, I'm gonna try to throw on CMP. And it looks like I did throw on CMP, cap tie, bat tie, but we are not baiting this time. We are going for the nuke, and they actually do end up throwing their shield, which is fine. Body slam not enough to KO, but one more rollout going to do enough. And now I have a decision to make here. I'm gonna come into my Nidoqueen, gonna go straight for the CMP tie, the cap tie, the BAP tie, and this time we are baiting. This is the BAP tie, but they recognize it and they let it go through. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. And now at this point, it is all up to my for alligator. Can we get this farm down? Can we win? We are going to see here. They do end up icy winning bait. I wish I wouldn't have shielded it. But either way, I think we're still in a very good position here. Gonna do one end throw since they have a 3 turn into a 2 turn. And now or 2 turn into three. Since I am the 2 turn, they are the 3 turn. And now once again, I don't know how many CMP ties, cap tie, baptize we did in this game, just in this one game, but we end up getting the cap tie once again. And we go 4-1. And I do believe I do get my elo at the very end of this video. So give a like for that and a subscription and a sub. I don't know what you call them on YouTube. But either way, link in description. I did do these battles on Twitch. Link in description. I don't know if I said that at the beginning of the video, but link in description to my Twitch. As always, if you guys want to interact and watch these battles happen in real time. At this point, I was like, you know what? Is this a snipe? I can't really do anything to this sand size, but maybe I could have played it out, caught the ice punch. But either way, whatever, it doesn't matter. They end up swapping out. I forgot what it was in the lead. I was talking and rambling about that other battle. But they swap out into a Sceptile, which is very interesting. I do end up taking the first um Leaf Blade, and they don't make it to another one. They end up having a Tapu Fini in the back. And this is actually pretty bad for me. Because one, they will get this farm down. But look how low they are. At this point, I think I could just let this go through, swap back out, and I should be okay. And I don't have to show them my third Pokemon. They know they see the Feraligatr and just top left. And this is actually right here. We're gonna see Tentacruel up against our Nidoqueen, and this is actually pretty bad. We do win CMP, we do get to the moves, but they do outpace us on to the next. We will CMP Captide Baptide on um, the very first Scold, but they end up baiting us with an acid spray, and they bait us again with an acid spray. And this guy at this point, he is probably making me mad, just like he's making you guys mad. Because why are you going for the acid sprays? Why? But anyways, it doesn't matter. Once again, I'm thinking this is just gonna be an acid spray, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go through. This time they actually throw the Scold. Wow, wow. Okay. So we are gonna get the farm down, and they are thinking about what they should do here. They come into a Registeel. This Registeel is gonna get hit with the superpower. At this point, I'm gonna try to catch a move here. Do I end up catching the move? I don't catch a move. They swap out into a Zygarde, and the Zygarde is looking really troublesome for me. At this point, I really don't have no play. What I need to do here is make it to another Earth Power, get this KO, or get farm on the Dragonite. We're gonna see, can we do this? We get the defense fall. We make it to the move on bad timing. I am gonna throw it on bad timing. Thought about undercharging it, but I need to get this thing out of the way. And I thought I was going to be able to actually um farm him down. And if you guys didn't know, that Zygarde actually had a move, but because of the Dragon Breath registers first before the charge move, I was actually able to snipe their energy down. Because I did, if they do get the move off, I will have to shield, and that Registeel actually has a move, and I didn't have a move, so it would have been horrible for me. So thank God it ended up working out for us. But now we are going to see Machamp up against our Nidoqueen, and this is actually pretty good for the Nidoqueen. But look at this once again, a matchup where Nidoqueen should just win based off of like typings, but it doesn't. I'm gonna go straight for the Earth Power here up against the Feraligatr. Not thinking that they're not gonna shield. Obviously, they don't shield. And now I'm gonna try to make it to this Poison Fang. Do make it to the Poison Fang. We're gonna see what they want to do. They end up shielding, which is fine with me. At this point, I'm gonna come into my own Feraligatr. They swap out into a Venusaur. Venusaur gonna get met with my Dragonite. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. No, I end up shielding, and it's a frenzy. I think there's like another game where there's another Venusaur, and I end up letting it go through. You guys will see this probably in this video. If not, then it might have been in one of the sets that I didn't showcase. But we are gonna see a alligator come back in. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. It is the ice beam. At this point, I could just let this go through and just farm down completely, shadow claw down all the way this for alligator to take this, and we do end up winning. Now we are gonna see. Oh, we are okay. I thought that was probably the end of the match. You're gonna see Tentacruel up against our Needle Queen, and this is actually once again really bad for the Needle Queen. They have a super effective move. They could just shield this up. They could bait me here like the last person that baited me, and this time this person does not bait me. But I do get the attack fall. I'm gonna do a catch here on 7 because they do outpace us to the second one. So I do need to catch here. And I do end up catching. I'm gonna farm up extra energy here. Gonna go straight for like baiting the crunch, but they no shield, and that is fine with me. Gonna go ahead and no shield this too. It is a scold. I'm at the hydro cannon, and they come out. They swap out into a Trevenant. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in their Dragonite, right? Yeah. And I'm probably gonna go straight for the farm down. Shield this up. Could be a potential shadow ball. It is a shadow ball, and thank God we shielded that. And I do believe we get the farm down before they make it to another move, and that is good for us. Now we are loaded on this Dragonite. They swap out into their Tentacruel, but they noticed that I did not throw, and I was gonna go straight for the farm down. Now I am gonna bait here at this point, thinking that they would shield this, but for some reason they don't end up shielding. Gonna go straight to my Needle Queen. Go for the Poison Fang. They let it go through, and now I'm gonna try to throw the next Poison Fang here, and I do believe they end up letting it go through, recognizing that this game is over. And yeah, the game is over. And we do end up winning. Let's see. Taking my time. We go 4-1. So once again, if you guys would like to watch, there was actually this team was actually triple is it's triple shadow too, right? I think it's triple shadow right now, but when I did run it with Polyrath, it was also triple shadow. Um I do believe the video that I'm talking about that has Polyrath in it instead of Dragonite is the one that has a thumbnail of Needle Queen. And I think it's my veteran I said I hit veteran with her or something. But yeah, they have a for alligator and they have a Greninja. Gonna go ahead and let this go through. Switch into my and this is might be the game I'm talking about because I am down to shield. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. See how much Sludge Bomb does. Does actually not as much as I thought it would. Maybe because it's not Shadow, or I don't know. I'm not too sure. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. I don't care if he knocks me out because now I get the farm off of this Venusaur with my for alligator. Gonna be able to do one and throw for good timing. 2 versus 3. And now at this point, gonna go ahead and let this go through. My lose con is shielding a nice slash and they get the boost. Gonna farm up extra energy here. They throw on bad timing, which is fine with me. Gonna do one and throw. I should be at back to back hydro cannons here. And I could do one and throw once again for good timing, but since this game is pretty much over here, I don't and I'm at back to back. I'm just gonna throw back to back, and we are going to be able to take that game. As we do go on to the next match, we're gonna see another Tentacruel, a lot of Tentacruels, and then they swap out into a poison user. Go lurk looking like, or a mud slapper. Any mud slapper looks like would be really good here. I'm gonna go for the cheeky bait here because they know I stayed in, and I most likely will end up throwing the big move. Right, they have to respect it. Gonna go ahead and let this go through. It does do a lot of damage, but at this point, I realize like they are gonna make it to another move, so I'm gonna throw my move just to knock them out. Make sure because I want to keep my shields. They do get this big farm down with their Tentacruel, which is kind of bad for me to be honest. Now I'm thinking, what should I do here? Gonna try to catch? Nope. Shield this up, and now it is a scold. Interesting, and they do get the attack fall. I'm gonna go for the Earth Power here. Attack failed, and I built up to 2 poison fakes, so I could have potentially been baiting. But they do end up shielding the correct move. They end up scolding me on my for alligator. They're staying in, which is very interesting. Galarian wheezing in the back. And if you guys don't know, if you guys have a Galarian coffin, shadow, no, not Galarian coffin, but I mean a coffin, a shadow coffin that you got from the rocket, and it does I guess it doesn't have to like matter if it has frustration or not. You can evolve it to a Galarian Weezing. I think next weekend to get Shadow Galarian Weezing, which if will be one of the most rarest shadows. Excuse me, because my voice my voice is going out. I don't really know why, but we're gonna see Clodsire up in the lead, up against our Nidoqueen, and this is actually really bad for the Nidoqueen because once again they do outpace us. So I am gonna try to catch the move here on my Dragonite, and I do end up catching the move. Is this an Earthquake? It is the Earthquake. Really good play by me. They swap out into a Greninja. Greninja gonna get I'm gonna go ahead and let this go through. Even if it's a Hydro Cannon or Night Slash, it's whatever. I didn't think it was gonna be enough to KO. And I'm gonna throw right before they make it to the next Night Slash. They do end up shielding, which is very interesting. Gonna try to make it to another Dragon Claw. Do make it to another Dragon Claw. This should be getting the next shield, or they let it go through. And thank God that they let it go through because now I have the alignment. And I do believe this is denial. I did get denied there. They swap out. I swap out. At this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and let this go through. Keep my shield for my Nidoqueen, and gonna farm down completely. Do one and throw, and I have no reason to bait here, so I'm just gonna go straight for the move. They realize it. I'm gonna throw the move because I do believe they were on 1 HP. So if they shield this, they will end up getting KO'd because one even if you shield, it does do 1 damage. So if you are on 1 HP and you shield, you will end up getting KO'd. Cafable in the lead up against our Nidoqueen, and they end up swapping out into a Licky Licky, which is very bad for me. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this up because usually they are running double nuke. This one actually goes for the Shadow Ball. Very interesting. And I'm thinking that they still have it. We're gonna try to catch the next move on my for alligator. Oh, why did I go on alligator? Interesting. Shadow Ball, Shadow Ball. They end up swapping out into the Cafable, and I'm gonna give them no time here. I'm gonna swap into my Venus, my not Venusaur, but my Nidoqueen instantly. I knew that they were gonna throw on 4, because of their Swift, but it's not enough to KO. Oh man, I wish I would have undercharged it to get more farm here. And now they come into it for alligator. This is kind of looking bad for me. Gonna go straight for the poison fang here. They do end up letting it go through, which is fine with me. Gonna try to catch here. Don't catch. Gonna go ahead and let this go through. And then now they swap out into a licky licky. They get the farm. They get farmed down. I'm gonna go ahead and shield this up. It's a hydro cannon, but they don't make it to another move, and we are going to be able to take that game. So a game that looked like it was very impossible for us to win, we do end up winning. We are gonna see Nidoqueen up against Skeletors, and this is actually pretty bad for the Nidoqueen, to be honest. You would think, since it's a fire type, that Nidoqueen would have the advantage, and since they went for the big move, and I know shielded, I'm expecting them to think this is the big move, and I'm gonna do one poison jab, swap out, transfer the damage, the incinerate damage onto my for alligator. We're gonna see what they want to do. They swap out into a Meowscarada. Meowscarada gonna get hit with this ice beam unless they end up shielding, which they do end up shielding, which is really interesting to be honest. And now I am gonna go ahead and let this go through. It's a grass knot. And now at this point, I think I'm gonna come into my Dragonite, farm down all the way. Did we farm down completely? Oh, try to catch a move, but I unfortunately do not catch a move. But what happens is that I'm actually able to make it to a move against that Meowscarada. In the back, there's a Feraligatr. I'm gonna shield this up, and I'm gonna keep farming until I cannot farm anymore. Gonna go straight for the superpower here. Don't know. I don't think a Dragon Claw was gonna be enough to KO, and I need this to get close to KOing before they make it to another move, and we get the farm down before they make it to another move. I do believe this was the last battle, and it was to go 5-0, and you guys will see my elo here right after we catch all of these Pokemon. Gonna fast catch them. I do believe I fast catch all of them. Wobbuffet. another Wobbuffet, a Phantom, two Phantoms, two Wobbuffets, and I forgot what the other one was. Manfu. Looking at the elo or my win rate, I think I'm calculating it up right now. Um, but yeah, once again, these battles were done on my Twitch. Link in the description as always. Come and interact with me, talk to me as these battles happen in real time. 2175 was our starting elo. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, and I will see you guys on the next video.